All right, everybody. This is Jimmy Nutt here. I guess welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to use this video to kind of outline a question that I've received quite a bit, and you'll notice that most of my videos and everything that I post either here or on my Facebook page predominantly center around what you see is called run and gunning, all right, or a run and gun itself. So I've gotten a lot of questions from friends of mine and people that have seen my page and seen some of the shirts that I wear and stuff like that as to what is a run and gun. Well, it's there's a lot of explanations for it out there. Some of the folks that are a lot more prevalent in the community have defined it as a centerfire biathlon and things of that nature. So I'm going to give you Jimmy Nutt's rundown real quick of what I see. I've done quite a few of these now. And so what I think I'll try to do is capture, what it is, and what you need to do is if you're interested in doing a sport like this. So a little history about myself. I did 21 years in the Marine Corps. You guys can see around me here, I'm surrounded by my I Love Me wall here in my office. And the time that I spent in the Marine Corps, and then prior to the Marine Corps, I grew up in a gun-friendly family. We were taught young how to appreciate everything when it comes to firearms, which I'll show you guys here in a minute. And then, I spent my time in the Marine Corps, either shooting or, at any rate, all the different things that go behind being a U.S. Marine. I retired in 2010, as you guys will notice on my Facebook page, and I got out and I got involved in kind of the firearms collecting again. But during my time in the Marine Corps, whether it was just standard physical training or PT for the Marine Corps, or whether it was a sport that I was involved in myself, I've done quite a few, whether it was boxing, kickboxing. I was a semi-pro triathlete for a while I was stationed down in Miami, Florida, and did a lot of cycling while I was out in California. I was on the Army 10-miler team for Headquarters U.S. Southern Command. So I've done a lot of different types of sports along my life, all the way back to running track in high school. And since then, you may get involved in a sport like running 5Ks or running 10Ks or something of that nature, and you may decide that you like shooting. Well, this is, I would say, a combination of kind of many of these sports. If any of you have out there done an adventure style race like a Spartan or a Tough Mudder, or one of the Viking challenges is out there, where you're running, you're doing obstacles along the way, any of those types of things, or you're just a regular 5, 10K runner, even a marathon runner, and you enjoy shooting at the same time, this might be a sport that interests you. All right. Like I said, I've done several of these since I got into the run and gun community, since 2015, and then training for my first winter run and gun, and then subsequently have competed in several of these. Now, I'm not a professional run and gunner. I don't do this for the statistics. It's really something that I enjoy. There are a lot of other folks out there that run these things a heck of a lot faster than my old butt will. And you are more than welcome to talk to them, and I can put you in touch with those folks out there that are really into the competitive nature of it. I absolutely love it, and it's a great time. So like I mentioned before, think of a tactical centerfire biathlon at differing distances. Like I said, I've done 3 Oklahoma run and guns, and all 3 of those I ran the 10K. Now, I'll be honest with you, the folks out in Oklahoma, they're not real good at math. All right, so Al and Dan, if you guys are watching this, they say it's a 10K, all right? Well, it's really closer to 8 miles. They also host a 5K out there, and they do 2 a year, one in the winter, which is in the January timeframe, and then one in the summer, all right, which is around the July timeframe. I've run 2 of the winter run and guns so far, and I've also run the one summer Oklahoma run and gun. And that's the t-shirt you see me wearing here. And I've got the other t-shirts to go along with those. And if you've done a winter or a summer run and gun, the last 2 times that I've done it, you've seen me as an RSO or a range safety officer out there on maybe one of the stages. And I truly enjoy doing that too. Subsequently, being involved in this community, I've run the 2 run and guns now at Rock Castle Shooting Center, all right, which is in Kentucky. It's a fabulous facility. I recommend them, and you'll see one of the links here at the bottom that I'll send you to do those. And I've run the 3 Gun for Vets 5K that was hosted by a good friend of mine, Matt Stinnett. And as well, he assisted as the match director for the most recent one I ran a couple of weeks ago, which was the Legion Memorial 9/11. You may have seen these. I just did a GoPro video of that on the same YouTube channel here. And you're more than welcome to check that out. I fast forwarded through the run times. I warn you, I do use some adult language in that video. And especially when I encountered the skunk right after the stage 2 of shooting. So back to the running gun and what it encompasses. For most of these running guns, what you'll need is a good centerfire, semi-automatic, and some folks use bolt guns and things of that nature. Rifle, all right. You're going to need some sort of a pistol, because these are normally a 2-gun event. So something like a semi-automatic, combat pistol, the high magazine capacity, because you can shoot a lot of rounds on these things. Or something in a higher caliber like a 308, like my DSA FAL here, or maybe something in a 5.56 AR platform that you guys are familiar with. This is my 6-hour MCX. So you get yourself on, a couple of weapons like this, and you may need some war gear, something like this. This is my HSGI war belt. It's got magazines, it's got a holster, it's got some other things on it. Some sort of gear that you're going to be able to carry what you need, which is going to include, of course, ammunition. You're going to need plenty of rifle ammunition and plenty of pistol ammunition to run these events. All right, you'll step off, and after you step off at the start line, you'll run to several stages of fire. And like I said, the differing distances, you'll run potentially a mile before you even end up at the first stage of fire. You'll show up. And if you watch my videos, you'll notice what the RSOs do. They walk you through the stage of fire, and then they give you a beep, and then you start shooting, and you finish that stage of fire. You gear back up, show a clear weapon, and then you take off and run the next leg of the distance that you're competing in until you show up at the next stage of fire. The stages of fire could include rifle and pistol. It could be just a rifle stage. It could be just a pistol stage. Or you may show up at one of these stages and find out that there's a weapon that you are not carrying on this run, and you might need to make it ready and engage a target. So that's my real quick rundown of what a run and gun is. And if you're interested in these things, like I said, the sport itself started roughly out of Texas and Oklahoma, if my research is correct. There's a couple of run and guns that go on down in Texas. I believe the Pecos and the WTF running guns, and like I said, then the folks from Oklahoma near Pawnee. We can put you in touch with folks like that that run their running guns in Oklahoma. Fantastic group of people, fantastic time. You're absolutely going to love it, especially if you enjoy the kind of sports that I talked about and you wanted to combine these. It's a true test of mankind, your equipment, your weapon, and your ability to go out and do this kind of a sport. And you're going to meet some of the greatest folks that I think you're going to meet some of the greatest folks that you'll ever encounter if you show up to one of these events. So, like I said, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. You're going to see a lot of videos of me shooting and practicing for these kind of events. So if you've come here to see something else, I'm sorry. You're pretty much going to see me shooting guns. You're going to see me doing a lot of practicing and sighting and weapons for these kind of events. This is kind of what I do. I'm not really big into the 3-gun circuit or anything like that. I do a few of those here and there, mainly practicing for this, like I said, the run and gun community. I hope to see you out there. I'll open this video up for comments at the bottom if you have any questions. I'll put a few links at the bottom that kind of talk about some of the places that I talked about. Like I said, the folks in Pawnee out in Oklahoma, the folks at Rock Castle that host those events, and I hope to see you guys out there. So thanks again for visiting my YouTube channel, and I hope you guys can at least learn something from what I've expressed with you guys today. Thanks again.